Hey, welcome to the Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast with me, Iona Meade at the Soul Legacy TV, Spiritual Business Success with Iona. So welcome. Today is Emotional Freedom Wednesday in my world as I support you and light workers, service-based business owners and spiritual entrepreneurs to move up and down the emotional scale and manifest more life-work balance in the 7 areas that I cover on this YouTube podcast daily. And so today I want to frame, if you are new to me, then I want to frame what Emotional Freedom Wednesday is. And if you are not new to me, I want to remind you of what Emotional Freedom Wednesday is and what we do. The intention is for us to set our own intentions and to journal together and live an intentional life to get clarity on your vision and your mission and your values and raise your vibration. So this is a process that I use for my journaling process. And so this is a notebook. It's called the Soul Legacy Journal. I'm the founder of the Soul Legacy Academy and host at the Soul Legacy TV. And I also host the Soul Legacy Movement. And behind that movement is to improve the mental health and well-being of our nation and our future generation, escape poverty and elevate prosperity. And so part of that is handling our emotions and being at the vibration that we wish to witness in the world, because we cannot alter anybody else's vibration. So I'm going to talk about that. So this is the journaling process again. So I call it 365 days of your spiritual awakening story. Welcome. Let me know where you're watching from, and do subscribe to the YouTube channel if you are new to me. I do go live every single Wednesday talking about emotional freedom. And so I call it a co-created soul path to spiritual alchemy for light workers. So as part of your journaling process, as part of your visualization, as part of your gratitude, as part of setting your intentions, as part of deciding, okay, what are the soul guided actions that I'm going to take today and this week to balance my light work and my lifestyle, my business, and what am I going to do to align myself with the money that I want to receive as I contribute in the world. I'm going to share with you my soul income game, bank 50K in 50 days at the end of this episode. And then I'm going to invite you to come into calling in my soul tribe, calling in my community, into the Spiritual Women Entrepreneurs and Light Workers Free monthly networking call. It happens on the first Monday of the month at 9 p.m. UK time. All right, so we can come together, co-create, collaborate, and continue on this conversation of manifesting life-work balance and having our vision and being in alignment and not doing our light work alone. All right, so grab a pen and paper, take some notes. If you are a student in the Soul Legacy Academy, then you will see that this YouTube podcast is embedded in there. I do strip it out as an audio a podcast on Spotify. And I also have what I call the 7 Freedoms Frequency call-in gym to support you, a 2-hour monthly coaching call. And if you are not part of my community and you are not in my mastermind or my bootcamp, I will share with you how you can get access to that as a bonus. It's $77 per month. I want a bonus in all of my students who are on my masterclass, who show up live, the gift of manifesting that life work balance as I support you in growing your business. So let's talk about emotions in our spiritual business, and the vision that we have for our spiritual business, the vision that we have for our life purpose. Welcome. Let me know where you're watching from, and I can pull up the comments. And if you are new to me, thank you for spending this time with me. Do consider sharing this out and invite more people in to hear this message, because I think it's really timely. Now, before we dive into all of the emotions, what I want to talk about is the 7 Freedoms Frequency podcast is about raising your vibration, right? Setting your intentions. And this is a book called, I just saw it on my desk, Law of Attraction. Don't know if you can see it. Hang on. I've got my ring light on. Law of Attraction, The Secret Behind the Secret. Now, this is a beautiful book, actually, and I happened to come across it. But we know that there is a secret behind the secret, and the secret behind the secret is the law of vibration. and the frequency, the energy of our words, our thoughts, our actions, and the beliefs about ourselves, our values, our consciousness. And depending on what our thoughts and our beliefs are about the world and about ourselves is depending on how we're going to experience the world, right? And so that's the main intention of the Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast, is to be in tune and journal, and reverse engineer being in alignment with your vision, being in alignment with the values for each area of your life. And I'll tell you, if you are new to me, what the areas are that we focus on every single day on this Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast for living an intentional life. And so for a Monday, I go live and I talk about how you contribute in the world and the frequency of that, the freedom frequency of that, because it's at the highest vibration: freedom, love, joy, empowerment, love and appreciation. I'm looking over at my Mac because I'm looking at the emotional scale from Abraham Hicks, and moving up and down that emotional scale in terms of your contribution matters. And so journal about it, and I'll talk you through more as we go through this episode. Moving up and down the emotional scale in terms of our health. We talk about this on Tuesday, Health Freedom Frequency Tuesday, Emotional Freedom Wednesday, and the frequency of our emotions is today. Environmental freedom is Thursday, and the frequency of our environment, right? Like, it matters. And when you think of the law of attraction, you think, oh, everything's coming to me. But when you think of the law of vibration and you think of being in energetic alignment and things having a frequency and holding energy, you kind of like, oh, there's more clearing to do and more raising and letting go of your energy, and choosing intentionally the thoughts and the vibration, a conscious intention and conscious and intentional manifesting. When we think of our relationships and our relationship with us, let me know where you're watching from. Let me know if you are new to me. Our relationships, they push and pull us. They push and pull us emotionally. So we're going to talk about that as well. Spirituality, just knowing that our thoughts and our feelings, and we can create, and we are powerful manifestors depending on how we think and how we feel, and the actions that we take is huge. And I say about looking through the world through the lens of our soul, for me, that just lights me up rather than being pushed and pulled by the conditioned humanness. For the seventh area that I talk about on the Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast for manifesting more life-work balance, moving up the emotional scale, is a supercharged one, which is financial freedom on Sundays, and how you feel about money, how you feel about yourself, whether you feel worthy. If you're a light worker, a service-based business owner, a spiritual entrepreneur, how you feel about not only serving in the world, like really stepping out and showing up, speaking out and serving deep, I say, and how you really feel about the changes and the transformation that you are here to birth in the world, how you really feel about creating a business model, how you really feel about the marketing of that, and of your gifts, will depend on what you receive financially. Is huge, 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 huge. So what I want to do is invite you. Let me know where you're watching from, and let me know if you are new to me, and let me know if you are familiar with the emotional scale and moving up the emotional scale. So I start this YouTube podcast most days with asking you how you feel. And so there's a reason for that. Again, it's Emotional Freedom Wednesday. So we're going to talk about the emotional scale and apply it to each area of on the Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast. But really, daily, I'm asking you to check in with how you feel. So how do you feel today? Are you high vibing? Are you in soul funk versus soul flow? And when we want to rate our vibrational frequency daily. So we did this on Contribution Freedom Monday. We rated our vibrational frequency in terms of our contribution. We rated our health in terms of our health freedom, and how much freedom we feel like around that. And so today I want to invite you to assess and check in with how much freedom you feel around moving up and down the emotional scale. And I'll talk about what's been going on for me this week, so that I give I share my successes, I share my failures, I share all of the things. I share, when I say failures, I share everything that's going on, not everything, most things that are going on for me, excuse me. So you have a point of reference, and you don't make manifesting some like miraculously mysterious thing. It is your thoughts, your feelings, and managing your emotions, and knowing when you have contrast or not, right? So I feel at an 11 today. So I would write that down in my journal as EFW, Emotional Freedom Wednesday equals. So you rate between a 1 and 11. So 1 is you're in soul funk, and 11 is you feel in soul flow. Now this matters where you gauge, and then we'll add up all of your scores in your journal on Sunday and see where you're dipping, see where you're spiking, see where you're dropping in your vibration, in your dominant vibration, and why what you have in your life is manifesting. And if you feel out of balance, or you don't have clarity, or you're not experiencing what it is that you want to experience, that is on your vision and on your vision board, your spiritual business vision board. If you've done my spiritual business vision board challenge, then you'll know what I mean. And if you don't, I'll leave the link in the cards, in the show notes, in the description for you. Because when you get clear on your vision, what it is that you want, you ask the universe, and then the universe will conspire and give you what you want. However, you've got to be in vibrational and match to it, right? It's not like, oh, just I'm attracting, you're emitting the vibration consciously, intentionally emitting the vibration to match your vision board. It's such a powerful dance and such a powerful game, I would say, and I love it. So, excuse me, let me just unplug my mouse, because I just actually charged it, and I want to see if I can go on this emotional scale. So I'm going to look away from the camera and talk about the emotional scale and moving up and down the emotional scale. So the purpose of the emotional scale, from Abraham Hicks in the book of Asking Is Given. So there's an upward spiral for your emotions and a downward spiral for your emotions. So when you think of manifesting, if you are vibrating at the lower vibrational frequencies, you're going to attract and manifest more circumstances in your life that match that vibration. It can't happen any other way. So it's like, well, Iona, my business doesn't feel successful, or like my relationships are not going as well, or I just feel some type of way. I've gone through an awakening and I've got health issues, or whatever those things are, like that take you down, especially when you go for an awakening, right? In a dark night of the soul, things trigger your emotions on a downward spiral. And I believe that you go on that downward spiral to have that contrast to birth, as Abraham Hicks says, the rockets of desire. And I'm going to use myself as an example in a second. All right. So we go down the emotional scale. And so the lowest vibrational frequency, the motion on the emotional scale, there's 22 points on the emotional scale, according to Abraham Hicks's emotional scale. At the top is joy, the feelings of joy, knowledge, empowerment, freedom, love, and appreciation. That is where I like to dance. That is like where I like to come into onto this YouTube podcast and launch my day in that vibrational frequency. However, it doesn't mean to say just because you've managed to practice that vibration that is the only emotion that you're going to feel throughout the day. It's kind of unrealistic. However, we want that to be our dominant emotion. And when you have lower vibrational emotions, then that's okay. It's just contrast and it's fine. But we don't want to live there, right? We don't want to live there. So the YouTube podcast, the Seven Freedoms Frequency, is your chance to check in daily, check in with me, check in with your journal, and look back at your life over this last week, over the last year. So I do the Spiritual Business Vision Board Challenge and Bank 50K in 50 Days Challenge, or Spiritual Business Vision Board Party, I've been calling it, annually on the second week in December, Monday to Sunday. We take a whole week to actually segment your life and focus on getting clarity on your vision and asking for what it is that you want. Now, I do it live. And so I've done it. And this is me manifesting and following through and letting the universe know, hey, I'm going to be in vibrational match to that vision, or that or something better on a daily as much as I possibly can, even if life doesn't look like it's presenting and it's moving for my physical lens, and showing me, hey, this is already manifested. We know it's in the vortex. And I know we know. Do you know that? Do you know that? Let me know if you know. Let me know if you've done a vision board, right? We know these things. However, we don't always follow through in terms of our emotions. We often allow stuff in each of the areas, each of the seven freedoms frequencies, especially when we're going through a spiritual awakening and we're up leveling. And it's fine. It's just having that awareness and being intentional about it. Because if we're not, we're going to get pushed and pulled by life. And I want more than that for you. So the vision board challenge is our way to ask, and this is my way to support you. So you can go through that vision board challenge on my YouTube channel at the Soul Legacy TV, Spiritual Business Success with Iona, at any point. I'll leave the link again in the cards, in the description, in the show notes for you. I highly recommend that you take time to do that, to get clarity. The biggest thing that my students say to me is, I don't have clarity. I'm not clear. Now, if you're not clear, then you're going to cloud your vibration. You're going to muddy the waters for yourself. And we don't want that. So when we take time, and I have many students in the Soul Legacy Academy who set the intention to go through this vision board challenge, because it's 7 days, they're like, yeah. But I'm telling you, when you do it and you body up, you can post your vision boards into the vision board group and follow through. Like, it doesn't make sense to just look at day one, because day one is about contribution, but also we want to get to the end of the vision board challenge to financial freedom. We can't just contribute in the world, give, and never receive, because there is no freedom in free. We want the healthy lifestyle. We want to manage our emotions, because if you don't get to day 3 in that vision board challenge, then you're not going to be following through with managing your emotions on a daily basis, right? Hopefully that makes sense. We don't want to not get to day 4, because that's about environment, what environments you want to teach in, what environments you want to travel, you want to see the world. You don't want to not get to day 5, because that's about the relationship with you and the relationship with others. Spiritual freedom is on Saturday, and most people are like, I'm good. However, emotional freedom is the most spiritual day of all. And so financial freedom, again, is on Sunday. And I challenge you to bank 50K in 50 days and heal your relationship with money. So as we're moving up and down this emotional scale, it's all relevant, is basically what I wanted to say. So if you haven't done that vision board challenge, I invite you. It's the first thing when anyone works with me, when I get on a call, when I get on a group call. Have you done your vision board? Are you clear? It's not about Iona Meade's vision board. It's about your own thoughts, your own feelings, your beliefs about yourself. So getting into the awareness of consciously and intentionally manifesting. So up and down the emotional scale. So again, the highest vibrations on the emotional freedom scale is a joy, knowledge, empowerment, freedom, love, and appreciation. And then the lowest vibration, and I'm looking at my Mac to read it off. I don't need it in my head. Fear, grief, depression, powerlessness, and being a victim. You ever felt like that? Especially when you're going through an awakening? Probably. If you are commenting, I cannot see your comment. Let me know that you can hear me well. I can see that you're on, and there's some people coming on and off, but let me know that you can hear me and this is making sense and I'm not talking to myself. I will strip this out as a podcast, but if you're going to be here with me and watch me live, I am actually live, and you can actually comment, give me a thumbs up at least, and let me know that this is making sense. Don't hide behind closed doors. So in between the emotional scale, so the as you drop down the emotional scale, there's passion, which is a higher vibration, enthusiasm, positive expectation and belief, optimism, hopefulness, and contentment. They're higher vibrations. I can hear you, but folding, washing. Who is that? Okay, cool. Let me know that you can hear me. And then you can listen along. But I'm like, who is that? Because I can't tell who it is. But thank you for joining me. That is funny. Yeah, you multitask. That is beautiful. I love it. I love it. So the downward emotional, and like just that it makes sense. So the downward emotional spiral is starts at number 8, and it starts with boredom, and you get bored, pessimism, frustration. Uh, hey Kerry, how you doing? Oh, is this the first time that you've come on? And there's me like, come on, who are you? Welcome on. You do your housework. That is what we talk about on Thursdays. We talk about environmental freedom Thursdays, clearing up your vibration, clearing up the energy and the emotions around that. So absolutely fantastic. And if you haven't done the vision board challenge, my spiritual business vision board challenge, again, the link will be around here somewhere. I invite you to do that. And Nicole Collini's done the vision board challenge, and that's where you start. It's so powerful. So the next emotions going down the emotional scale is frustration, irritation, impatience, then overwhelm, then disappointment, then doubt, then worry, blame, discouragement, anger, revenge, hatred. I'm going down the emotional scale, jealousy, insecurity, guilt, unworthiness, and again, dropping down to fear, depression, powerlessness, and being a victim. So when we are serving in the world, and when we've got our relationships around us, oftentimes the relationships trigger us, our relationship with us, our beliefs, our relationships with our spouse, our relationships with our kids, our relationships with our clients, our relationship, we are triggered all of the time. And so what we want to do is manage our emotions and intentionally move up the emotional scale, regardless of what is going on around us. And that is challenging. Carrie says, no, watch you before. Oh, I'm going to check that out. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, so the Spiritual Business Vision Board Challenge, we talk about what it is that you want to do in the world, how you want to contribute, how you want to make your difference in the world, and setting the vision for that. And then we talk about your financial freedom goals, receiving the financial freedom, but also the lifestyle in between. And I wanted to manifest more life work balance and then set intentions. And so this daily YouTube podcast is a follow on from that. That's me taking into an entire year to live into that vision, and then inviting you guys on my YouTube channel, students as well. And this is me walking my talk. And there's a lot of people out there who feel some type of way with serving. They feel nervous, they feel those fearful, they feel unworthy, right? They feel all those feelings. And when they worry, doubt, overwhelm, and when we're building our business from that vibration, we're not actually in alignment with the people that can see, hear, and feel us, right? And so for the fact that you're here and my energy passed on to a friend of yours, and then that energy, and then you're here, that's what that is. It's such a beautiful, I love Emotional Freedom Wednesday. So I talked about how you feel, then I talk about your vision. Let me move into the next segment of the Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast. And I didn't know that you'd watched before. See, when we just put our stuff out there, people will watch it whenever they need to. And so what we do is say, okay, we feel this way, we've got this vision. What can I now do? What actions can I do? Can I take soul guided action to either stop doing 1 to 3 things that are not supporting you, or I'll either stop or start, like either stop doing something or start doing, the things that you put off and you might be fearful of, like marketing, or like signing up for something. I know that you signed up for something that's going to support you, right, in moving forward. Oftentimes people take actions that avoid the thing that they know that they should be doing in terms of taking the direct path. We go right around the houses and then come back to, oh, I still have to take that action in order to move my business forward. Usually that's around marketing. And so I teach my students to build their spiritual business that feels really good, in a way that feels in alignment with their soul, in a way that feels like they're launching, leading, and leaving their soul legacy. And when you write down in your journal, what are the 1 to 3 things that I can do this week that will support me in moving forward, either in my contribution, in my health, in my emotions, in my environment, like you're doing, folding the washing, in your own relationships, for your spiritual connection, for your finances, what are the 1 to 3 things that you can do that make you feel better, make you feel good, make you feel more organized, make you feel in alignment with your values? Write those down and then come back on next Wednesday and let me know how they made you feel, because you took action and you followed through. One of the biggest things that I think that takes us down the emotional scale is not even everybody else, is just not trusting our own word, not trusting that we will do right by us. Whatever anybody else does, we do right by us. And I've had to learn this. And I want to talk about my journey this week in terms of the 7 freedoms. So yesterday, Carrie, I don't know if you've watched this. Yesterday, I was talking about my emotions. I was talking about health, our mental health, our emotional health, our physical health, our social health, our spiritual health, all the health, our environmental health. And I talk about that on day 2 of the Spiritual Vision Board Challenge. So I dive deep into that. And I was talking about my emotional health and my mental health and how I feel. And I feel amazing, don't get me wrong. But yesterday I had a trigger emotionally, and it was around my relationship. It's a new relationship. And there was a miscommunication, and I wasn't going to share it. And then the miscommunication happened just before I went on the live. And I'm like, let me share this. And so I said, I felt quite sad and I'd shed tears. And I was like, having the relationship, for me, this has been my journey, having the relationship that I really wanted to have and manifest, because that's on my vision board, right? Matters to me in terms of how I show up in the world. When I've been in my past previous relationships, they've impacted who I believe that I am, who I believe that I can be. They have triggered my emotions. They've triggered things that go on for my health. They've triggered like what I manifest in my environment. They've triggered all these daily, like when you merge your life with someone. So I'm like, okay, I'm dating for marriage. I'm dating for that union. That's part of my contribution in the world. Yes, I want you to support you in your business, but I also want to support you in the relationships that really matter to you. And a romantic relationship may or may not be something that you want to manifest. However, it impacts all of our, whether it's past relationships, whether it's the relationships that we've been passed down, what we've been shown and modeled as a healthy relationship, all those things. So I was talking about this yesterday, and I was like sharing my journey. And so I say I always want to show up raw and real. I always want to show up like I've got a second YouTube channel talking about dating and how that impacts all of your life. And so I was sharing about moving up and down the emotional scale. And yesterday I pulled 3 cards, and I was like, I'm not going to read out these the meanings of these cards, and I am going to read those out in a second, because it was exactly what I needed to get in order to birth the contrast for what I got for us moving forward. Now, when I was listening to the book for today, which I listened to a book, I don't know about you guys, but I'm kind of addicted to books, but I implement the books. So this was today, it's Emotional Freedom Wednesday. I was listening to a book called The Astonishing Power of Emotions by Jerry and Esther Hicks. And it just was like, this couldn't even be more divine. Where I listen as I do my daily walk, and I come to do the podcast, and I listen to wherever I left off. So I heard the opening words were like his emotions and letting go of whatever, like wherever he is on his emotional scale and whatever resistance he has. What you want to do is focus on your own emotions, right? And I was like, yeah, okay, cool. This is going to be a good one. So basically, they were saying that your relationship that you had, say if you've had a relationship, this is what was in the Audible book today, whatever relationship that you've had in the past, if it's not worked out, like say thank you to that person. Thank you for helping me birth all of the rockets of desire for what it is that I want to manifest. All of the things that you didn't like, all of the things that didn't go right are the contrast for what you actually get. And I'm like, what the beautiful relationship that is in vibrational escrow, that you need to be in vibrational alignment to manifest. And I was like, yes, this is what I'm talking about. So when I went through my twin flame union, all of the 7 freedoms, this is where the journey for the YouTube podcast, the 7 freedoms frequency, but was birthed. Because we broke our life down into these 7 areas, and I knew that we were not in alignment, right? And so all of the things that were happening that I was like, yeah, not feeling that, not feeling that, not feeling that, was actually birthing the rocket of desire for me having the tick boxes that I have now for the partner that I have now, because it's absolutely blowing my mind the amount of tick boxes that and I'll share it again on the YouTube channel. Excuse me. Carrie says, where can I get the journal you've held? I forget things. This, excuse me, I have it on Amazon and on Lulu. I've got to update the journal. So when I update it, I'll let you know. The spiral one you can get on YouTube. It's a blank notebook. But yeah, that one on Amazon and that one on Lulu. All right. And so I'll let you know. So on the Amazon, I don't think you can order it. I'll change the settings on it. But yeah, I forget things too. So that's why we journal. So I was ticking off like all of the boxes by being in that twin flame union. And sometimes people say, this is what they were saying in the Audible book today. Sometimes you're like, I want to save the relationship. I want to blah, 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 or I'm focusing on all of the negative. And basically they're like, no, don't do that. Just focus on the positive and thank that person for, thank you, beautiful. Drop me a message. Yeah, I will. Thank you. Thank that person for all of birthing, all the intentions that you've created. And I'm like, yes, and wish them well and wish them like the happy life that, you know, that they have then birthed through the contrast. And I'm like, that is exactly that. My twin flame, he's married. He got married. We've been separated 2 years. And I'm like, he didn't have a gap. I wanted to have a gap and be very intentional and have like just birth the most beautiful relationship. And it's manifested for me. And I'm like, since me doing the vision board, and it's just absolutely amazing. However, when I was shedding tears yesterday for the miscommunication, what it had me do is really understand, one, how we can up level, which is beautiful. And two, which Kalini and I were talking about yesterday, was balancing the energy between masculine and feminine. Because in my twin flame union, I was more in my masculine energy, and he was more in his feminine energy. And I was like, I never want to be with a super feminine man ever again, because then I lean over into my masculine. And he would say the same thing. It's not being derogatory to him. We just both notice that about ourselves, as like, wow, you're like super in your feminine. And there's nothing wrong with being in your masculine and your feminine. And it might not be an even balance, but I was like, nah, like that is not for me. And so I've manifested someone who's more in the masculine. And along the journey, I was like, okay, well, masculine, but not super tough either, like a balance. And so me shedding tears, all that to say is me shedding tears, because I don't really cry that often. I do cry, get emotional and cry happy tears. But when my relationships have ended, I'm like feeling a sense of relief. I'm like, yeah, bye, see ya. And so for this, it's like new to me to be pushed and pulled in that way. It's like I care, and just tuning into that and being soft and being okay with feeling in that feminine energy. Like, I'm not saying, oh, just it's feminine just to cry, but for me to feel that softness and be vulnerable and be open and lean back and trust him and allow him to lead, if allowing is the right word. But only allowing someone to lead if you know that they've got you. In my twin flame union, I'm like, yeah, I don't trust your judgment. Like, I'm like, I'm good. I felt like I had to be more in my masculine, because the guy that wants to lead you in marriage needs to be able to handle business. And I'm like, oh, wow. So all that to say, the contrast that I was having yesterday was just really, really beautiful. And I want to read these messages, and then we'll do gratitude, and then we'll do the Bank 50K in 50 days challenge. And then I will let you get along your way. So the first one was from yesterday. I'll let you know what the cards were. And these are beautiful. So think of it, energy is moving. think of what I'm sharing with you in terms of what I've just shared and where you are, and hopefully you'll get something from these. So the first card was hope, love, and acceptance. Love is yours. Recognize your divine worth. Choose loving thoughts. I had to do that yesterday, right? And so the Commander Ashtar, call to action, take charge, lead by example, and walk your talk. And that's why I shared it yesterday, because I want to write a book. I matched with him on Tinder, and I was like, I'm writing a book. I matched with my ex on my twin flame on Bumble. So like all the dating apps, you know how those things are. But I said, I'm an author and I want to write the book called Waiting for the One. It's called Soulmate Sex and Soulful Sex and Marriage, the ultimate guide to soulmate attraction, sensual sex, sacred sex, and a magic marriage. And so all of the things that I'm going through is for me, and then it will be for you guys who are on these dating apps trying to struggle finding a decent dude. So Deval Cool, Dharma unfolding. Remember that you are on a path. Take one step at a time to happiness. And I didn't read the messages out, and I'm going to read them out now, because after my live, I was like, oh my goodness, I wish I'd have read them out. So remember, this is Emotional Freedom Wednesday. So I just had the emotions of like, okay, that didn't feel good. I'm looking at the number of the page. That didn't feel good, but I know it's telling me more things, and it's telling him more things. And I'm like, dude, you've got to be softer and handle me with care. Right. And so I spoke to him about this anyway, and that's new. It's new for him. And I'm like, okay, as women, we don't want to be handled rough. We want to be handled with care. And yes, you're in your masculine, and that's that balancing that out. So it's so beautiful. So I'm going to read this one first. So it says again, Commander Ashtar, call to action. Take charge, lead by example, walk your talk. I pride myself in doing that. And when you're serving out in the world, you need to be walking your talk. Because if you're hiding behind closed doors in any of these areas, but you're saying, I can add transformation to the world, I can lead, I can do all the things, but you're not walking your talk, your guys will feel you. They'll feel you. And that's when we feel like an imposter, feel like a fraud, and we have fear and all those things, right? So Ashtar, also known as Commander Ashtar, is a multidimensional being who promotes truth, peace, and harmony between planets. He is said to be an extraterrestrial, but also appears in human form so that he can communicate at the heart level with those on Earth who call on him. So again, my heart was like, and I will always have my heart open. I won't allow anything to close my heart, right? So that energy is massive. So it says, he is a part of the Great White Brotherhood, a congregation of light beings who work to bring healing to the world, and is a wonderful guide to those who are feeling the call to bring positivity, healing, and inspiration to those around them. That's exactly that. It's not denying our feelings. It's not going up and down the emotional scale. Is not feeling the lower vibrational feelings. That's what I want to. Hopefully, you'll get that. He lifts up the hearts of leaders and inspires them to walk their path with complete integrity. Now, if I don't share and I just share the highlight reel, right, I'm not in an integrity. And as I have the vision to make my difference in the world with my second YouTube channel and the book, I want to be in integrity. It's not just, dating. Oh, yeah, it's fantastic. Do you know how many dates I went on and how many conversations I had to get to where, dude? All right, so integrity. Extended message. You are receiving a call to action and being asked to step up and create the changes you want to see in the world. Divine inspiration is all around you, and Ashtar and his legion of cosmic angels are standing by to offer you loving support. I felt that yesterday. Know that you are being encouraged to be honest, assertive, and true in a loving way. You may feel your ego trying to hold you back, but know that when you take the first step, the next one will soon follow. Take one step at a time to connect with the universe by looking up at the stars, knowing that they are loving beings of light, gazing back down on you. You are not alone. And that yesterday led me. It was so beautiful. And obviously, we're fine. And we talked it out. And it was a miscommunication. And it was around me serving and being vulnerable and open about what I do. Because I'm like, after my experience with my twin flame, I'm like, I want to keep what I do under wraps, but what I do is massive. It's like it impacts me. And so when he saw it, he's like, well, it makes me feel uncomfortable to watch you and not know all of that side of you. I don't want to watch it on video. I want to spend more time with you, which means that we're going to spend the weekend together. So not like denying the things that are coming up and saying, oh, well, I don't want to have contrast. I don't want to feel those feelings, isn't actually fully living into and being in integrity. The next card is hope. So I want to read that for you. So this is me like really tuning into my path and my vision, and just hopefully, I'm looking at the number, hopefully inspiring you to show up, speak out, and serve deep, and not actually hide. The people that you're here to serve want to see all of you. They might not want to know all of your business like I tell, but what a way to model, what a way to be honest, what a way to not just focus on, oh, well, I'm going to go out there and build a list and just buy all of my stuff. What a way to actually say, if you are struggling with those things, if you feel the push and pull for your emotions, so do I. Like, it's okay. And I didn't make them wrong. I didn't hide them. I felt them. I felt them. And actually, they were connected to the story that I was telling myself, not actually what he was saying. I was like, well, I hear this. I feel that you think that I'm ugly. I feel like you feel like I'm unattractive. I feel like you feel, I can't even remember what the other one was. And he's like, wow, I can't even believe you. Like, that is not what I said. That is not what I said. And I'm like, and you don't want me as your wife, or you don't want to be intimate with me. I can't say the actual words. That's why it didn't come to mind. Do you know what I mean? I heard completely different things, and I had to own that I heard those things based on other past relationships, based on what others have said to me. And I'm like, okay, I get it. So it's just a beautiful dance. So hope, love and acceptance. Love is yours. Recognize your divine worth. Choose loving thoughts about myself as well. Hope is an angel who is dedicated to promoting the idea that we on earth are loved, cherished, and supported by the kingdom of heaven. She's all about helping us see the light beyond whatever darkness we are in. Traveling as part of the Holy Trinity, faith, hope, and charity, she helps us recognize that hope isn't about wishing for something good to happen or help to arrive, but trusting that support is already present. So yesterday was such a beautiful day for me, for emotional freedom, for me to share with you today, right? Hope is a twin flame of Archangel Gabriel. And I was looking at the card that I pulled today, and I thought, oh, was that it? But it's Archangel Michael. She has a gentle presence, but she is absolutely glorious. She sings sweet harmonies to us, and these songs are waves of love, washing away anything that stands between us and self-love and acceptance. That's beautiful. So hopefully that is inspiring you, and you're looking and feeling at the ways where over this last week that you've been pushed and pulled by your emotions, and you've told yourself stories that are not even true, or you've blamed other people or projected onto other people and made their words mean a completely different thing, right? Extended message. Angels are gathering round you in celebration that you are finally willing to see how loving and lovable you are, right? I know this. Hope is here with her legion of love angels, guiding you to see that you deserve loving relationships, loving experiences, and loving acceptance from the world around you. It seems that you are really moving beyond the limitations that once held you back in this department. But know that whenever you do question your worth, you can call on hope to shine her golden light upon you, which is what I did yesterday. Your angels want you to know that they love and cherish you, and they are grateful you're giving yourself the same support. That was yesterday. Isn't that beautiful? At nursery, we'll be right back. All right, no worries. You can watch the replay. Isn't that beautiful? And so the last card from yesterday, which I'm going to keep reading. So when you see this, it's just so beautiful. I was like, this is the love and the support that I needed yesterday. And so hopefully it's giving you that fuel for you today. Now I'm thinking that I can find the card, but I'm going to actually look up the page number. And so we don't then deny what it is that we're thinking and we're feeling on the emotional scale. What we do is look for the contrast and see what it is actually telling us, what it is that we need to hear. And you use your tools. So Deval Cool unfolding. Remember that you are on a path. Take one step at a time to happiness. Oh, sorry. Okay. Deval Cool is known as the Tibetan. It is a Tibetan Buddhist master. He is said to have many incarnations, including as a devotee of Buddha himself and as one of the 3 wise men who honored the baby Jesus. Through his early earthly experiences, he's learned the importance of spiritual practice and discipline and knows that the path we are on unfolds over time. He is now helping light workers follow their Dharma, which is a Sanskrit word for the right way of living. Exactly that yesterday. Extended message. When Deval Call appears in a reading, he reminds you that your path is unfolding as it should. Take one step at a time and remember that your only spiritual function is to be happy. And my partner and I, we both, he doesn't know my journey into looking at this card, which looks like my son is in spirit. It says divine director, intervention and purpose. Divine intervention is occurring. Know that you are being guided. Happiness is your purpose. And that for me is like just the reminder of yesterday that my son is with me and guiding me. So there's my son. That's Cal Gray's Keepers of the Light, right? My son never even had his hair like that most of the time. And so I love it. I love it. And so thank you, beautiful, my baby boy. So I'm going to keep reading and try not to cry. That he has learned that the importance of spiritual practice and discipline, and knows that the path we are on unfolds over time. He's now helping I've done that. Okay, hang on. Take one step at a time to know your only spiritual function is to be happy. Even when you've gone up and down the emotional scale and you've been through grief, through your awakening, you can still be happy. I am not as happy as what I would be if my son was here on the earthly plane. However, I am happy. I am happy. And that's a beautiful gift that I've chosen to give to myself. It is a choice. You are powerful. You are a powerful person with many lessons under your belt and a real capacity to share your wisdom with the world. Take time to go over what you have learned recently, recognize the strengths it has brought you, and acknowledge where you have been courageous. Deval Cool is now working with your angel guides to help your journey unfold like a beautiful lotus flower, one petal at a time. Now, I didn't read those yesterday, but I got all 3 cards. Now, I usually read 1 card per day, right? And yesterday I was shuffling and literally these cards just flew on the floor. And I was like, let me put those cards back. I don't want all of those cards. It's 1 card per day. And I was like, listen to your guidance. And I got that yesterday and I got it for me. And I was like, wow. And I really wanted to share that with you. And I'm going to share today's card and then I'm going to move on. All right, and then I'm going to move on to gratitude, right? Okay, so Archangel Michael, trusting heaven. This is the card for today. You are safe. Angels stand close. Surrender your concerns and allow a miracle to occur. And with Kyle Gray, the light warrior, his book that I was reading on Contribution Freedom Monday, he was talking about miracles and a miracle being a shifting consciousness. Love that. Archangel Michael, Saint Michael, is one of our 4 major archangels in the Abrahamic religions. His twin flame is faith. Well, that was hope. I was like, what? he is loved all over the world because he is the patron saint of protection. He wields a bright sword of light to help us detach from dramas, challenges, or fears, right? His name means he who is God, and his fiery presence helps awaken our leadership skills and reminds us that we have the capacity to connect with heaven. Yes, thank you, baby boy. If challenges are present in your life, call on Michael to bring his sword of light to energetically disconnect you from what no longer serves you. Extended message. Your angel team is with you now. You are not in this alone. You may be feeling sensitive or overwhelmed, but your angels are inviting you to step back so that they can come in and share their light of miracles. You may feel that your prayers aren't heard because I prayed, let me tell you, but the doubt blocks solutions from entering your life. So then yesterday it was like that doubt of like, okay, well, all the stories. And it's like, that is that doubt. And then going down to that fear, down the emotional scale, right? So it's like doubt that you mean what you say, doubt that you even want to be in this now, doubt that blah, 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 blah. All right. So then it did block the solutions. Fortunately, he had his senses and we're good. Know that the Archangel Michael and his legion of angels are here to clear anything that's not serving you so that you can allow the miracles of change that you deserve. And I think that is beautiful. So hopefully that has inspired you. I know it took a bit of time and I wasn't doing that yesterday. And I was like, do you know what? Today that's got to be. When you go up and down the emotional scale, whatever tools you use that will help you to trust, use them and journal about them, right? So, okay, we're going to do gratitude. I want to say the emotional freedom, and our lead soul guided instructor, Kalini, at the Shamanic Soul Star TV, Cosmic Inner Healing Tools. If you haven't subscribed to her channel, then subscribe. She is going to be talking about the healing and it just moving up and down the emotional scale and protecting your energy, all the things. So, and doing EFT and Reiki and all those things. Now, I was doing my visualization and my EFT, and I did EFT on tapping for 1 million, right? And I walked in the street on my walk today, and I saw a penny. Now that's a 1 pence for those of you who are in a different country, right? In England, 1 pence. And I was like, shall I pick it up? Well, if you've ever read The Millionaire Mind Intensive, The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker, he's like, pick the money up and say, I'm a money magnet. Don't leave the money on the floor. And I was like, oh, it was raining. I'm like, do you know what? Pick it up. And I brought it with me. And my previous soul guided instructor, she'd given me some guidance on using the 369 method, which I'm going to start from today. And, or maybe, start from today. Or maybe start from like next week. I'll probably start from next week so it's clear and prepare for it. But anyway, that vibrational frequency of what it is that you want to manifest, if it shows up, don't say no to it. So I was saying the other day that I'd put like the £100 back into my wallet so that I can feel that vibration of money or that vibration of spending the money. How I have the money. However, I have more money. I have £101 and 1 pence now, right? And anything that comes, anything that I'm going to put it in my wallet. It's actually my phone case, but still. Actually, I don't even know where my purse is. All right, let's express gratitude so I can respect your time. So the way that we do gratitude on the Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast is to say, I'm happy and I'm grateful and I appreciate. Now, we know that the appreciation is at the highest level on the emotional scale, and so is love and freedom and empowerment and knowledge, right? And we're here with our knowledge. I fuel my mind with knowledge every single day through a book. And so we want to be vibrating at a higher frequency daily, right? Even if you're not on with me live, you still want to do your journaling practice so that you can raise your vibration daily, right? So you can write these down. I like to, what I call soul speaking into existence, to practice the vibration of what is emotionally on my vision board, all of the areas for that spiritual business success and that manifesting that life work balance, which a lot is manifesting, and it's beautiful. And then when I come back to do the vision board challenge in December of 2024, it's now February, I will share what it is that I've manifested, although I'm talking out my business on this YouTube podcast. I will share, and then I will do a joint vision board. Actually, if my partner is up for it, I'll do a couples version of the vision board. If we don't do one before that, if he's up for it, I'll speak to him and ask him. If he's not, then that's okay. All right, because I want to share this process with couples on my spiritual dating TV YouTube channel. I think it's really important. And so my ex, my twin flame, and I started this process with a vision board and with the wheel of life, which I changed into the soul legacy wheel, which I share on the vision board challenge. All right. So I say I'm happy and I'm grateful and I appreciate each of the areas that are on my vision board, the areas that I cover on the Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast. So contribution freedom, health freedom, emotional freedom, environmental freedom, relationship freedom, spiritual freedom, and financial freedom. And the reason why I bring them all into the day is because, do you want to have like contribution without having the relationships with your clients? No. Do you want to have your health without having, I don't know, do you want to choose between the areas of your life? I do not. I want to have it all. And I want it to manifest, and I want it to feel good. And I'm not going to settle for less. So that is why. So we say you might not think that you've got something to be happy and grateful for. So I say you can pick up something that was in the past that you're grateful for, pick up something in the present, something in the predicted future, meaning something on your vision board. In order for your vision board to manifest, before it manifests, you've got to express that gratitude and be in vibrational alignment for it, with it. So my partner, my husband, was not going to manifest without me being grateful for him and without me expressing gratitude with him once he's in my life, right? And so without me expressing gratitude for my students, my clients, ahead of them coming into, they're not going to come. If I'm just vibrating at fear, I'm repelling everything. So that's the intention behind it. And again, use the journal to write those down, and the energy is moving. Write the things down, and think of. I'm going to invite you to do the Soul Income game, the Bank 50K in 50 Days challenge after this. But it's not just about money. It's about all of these areas of your life. And so when you're doing the vibrational money voucher and you're doing the Bank 50K in 50 Days challenge with me in the visible world, think of these areas of your life. Like, why would you want that money to manifest the vision board and manifest the experiences that you want to have in life? Right. So I'm happy and I'm grateful and appreciate contribution. So I say contribution in your light work and your lifestyle. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate the contribution that I can make with my journal. And so to help you not forget things, Carrie, right? So like that I've created this whole system around my book and have a journal and have a space for you to purchase a journal that you can say, that's why I've done what I've done in the way that I do. And I share with my students, like, write your book, but also create a companion journal so that when you're going live and you're walking your own talk, your subscribers, your viewers, your soul tribe, your students can actually write the things down and see in clear. When we write a goal down or we write an experience down, it solidifies it. So happy and grateful and appreciate that. Happy and grateful and appreciate all the people that buy the journal, actually. Happy and grateful and appreciate health. Oh my gosh, my health freedom, like off the charts. And I was talking about this yesterday, just like, brace yourself. I was talking about emptying my bowels in the middle of the night and it interrupting my sleep, but not being ungrateful about it. I wasn't woken up in the middle of the night with emptying my bowels, right? But health, that's health, right? Physical health. I've set that on my vision board to have a beach body. Like I want to be on the beach, like hench, and like working out, doing insanity. But the way that I'm eating and the way that I'm fueling my body is triggering my metabolism. Like I don't know if you know like how to trigger your own metabolism, but when you get to energy is moving, right? I have not eaten this morning because my stomach had felt so full. Usually I would fast in the morning and that works for me. And I'm like, okay, well, if I'm going to do the insanity, I'm going to fuel my body before, have this new routine. And it's just not working. It is working for me, but I feel really full throughout the day. So I'm going to shift my eating back to the pattern that I've had for the last few years of fasting. And my partner's like, yeah, you don't need that in the morning. I'm like, yeah, but because I'd moved my workout into the morning, it's like feel my body before it or after it, right? So anyway, it was recovery day, so it wasn't a hard day today. But anyway, my bowels, and I was saying that to him. He's like, yeah, thanks a lot for giving him that visual. I was like, well, I emptied my bowels like 4 times this morning before 9 a.m. And he's like, yeah, too much information. I was like, for real. And then I got off the phone. I was like, and again. And I'm like, 5 times in a morning, that's like shifting some like literally, and I didn't mean to do that. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, wow, I'm so happy and grateful and appreciate that my body is letting go. And energetically, Louise Hay was talking about in her book, You Can Heal Your Life. I'm saying she was talking about the late Louise Hay. I was listening to Health Freedom a book for Health Freedom Tuesday, which was You Can Heal Your Life. And Louise Hay was talking about that when you're just in alignment, you don't even have to take all of those actions. Your body will just do it. It will feel that you love it and it will just release whatever it is. It's not about all the trying. You do have to help it along the way, I believe. But I'm like, wow, how amazing is that? I want to get into it. Happy and grateful for that. Like big tangent, but I'm just saying, like that's on my vision board. Like what is on my vision board? I've reversed engineered each of the areas and I'm now expressing gratitude, whether it's manifested or not. But in order for those things to manifest, I had to be grateful for them, right? Walking my talk. Happy and grateful and appreciate emotional freedom. I think I expressed gratitude for my emotions yesterday. But I want to express gratitude for the emotional intelligence of my partner. I will say my husband, right? Because that's how I see him. I see him as my husband. I'm so happy and grateful that we have the emotional connection. We're on the same page. I'm happy and grateful for that emotional safety to be vulnerable. So thank you. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate my environment. Oh, I'm happy and grateful and appreciate that we get to merge environments and I get to spend the weekend in his environment, which is lovely. I'm really happy and grateful for that. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate that our families are merging relationships. I've got just the essence of my son. He hears stories about him. He has 2 children who I will meet. And that feels really beautiful to me. So I'm grateful to have the opportunity, really reflecting on the relationships that I wanted to have in my life. And I'll talk about that more on Relationship Freedom Friday because it's a big one. The emotions around that and making sure that everybody's comfortable, everybody feels good, all of us. That in and of itself is a gift. So emotionally, I'm really happy and grateful for that. Environmental freedom, I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for the, relationships that I have. Again, energy is moving. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate, oh my gosh, souls having a human experience and just being guided. Like, yeah. That my love list in my journal that I wrote, I just whacked myself in the chin then. I wrote my love list for my husband 2 years ago. It's just over 2 years ago. It was just coming up for 2 years before he manifested in my world with a swipe on Tinder. Thank you very much. And yeah, smashed the love list. I think one day I'll read it to him. Not yet. Excuse me. Happy and grateful and appreciate finances, financial freedom, to be able to purchase things, purchase gifts for each other, and for me to be in the position to purchase a gift. And I'm not going to talk about it yet, but I'll probably talk about it on emotional on Relationship Freedom Friday. I think it'll probably be more appropriate to share then. But just happy and grateful for the purchases that I've been able to make on Amazon that support our relationship and support the merging family unit. I will say that, which is really, really, really beautiful. I love it. All right, so that is gratitude. I'm going to do the Bank 50K in 50 Days challenge. Again, we're doing it vibrationally first in this journal. So what I want you to do, what I invite you to do, excuse me, when we're doing the soul income gain for banking 50K in 50 days, and if you're like, I can't bank 50K in 50 days, are you crazy? And you have fear around it or doubt around it or worry around it, this is why we play the soul income game. I invite you to commit to living an intentional life for 49 days with me. So I go live every single day on the Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast at the Soul Legacy TV, Spiritual Business Success with Iona. I invite you to follow through for 49 days straight, right? Don't drop off. And journal. The soul income game is, this journal gives you £1,000, dollars, or euros every single day. It's really a blank notebook, right? You have to use your imagination. And I ask you, what is it that you would spend your vibrational money voucher on? Write it down, feel the feeling, bask in the energy. And again, if I didn't have the finances to be able to pay for what I've paid for today on Amazon and get it actually delivered today, thank you, Amazon, then it was a reward chart, by the way, just so you know. I used that with my children, and I used it with the 3 children that I was fostering, before you think it was like something weird. But I love it. And it's being delivered today. So being able to pass that down, I'm happy and grateful for that. Banking 50K in 50 days, what would you spend your vibrational money voucher on? That is something that is educational. That is something that is learning. If you don't have the money to be able to do that, like, just when, I would spend my vibrational money voucher on it, right? And so you actually you'd go onto Amazon, and you'd go onto whatever it is and spend your vibration. So you have £1,000, dollars, or euros every single day to spend on the things that are going to support you and your family, right? Merging your families, being with your soul clients, working, whatever it is, going in, traveling around the world, whatever it is, right? What would you spend your vibrational money voucher on? Write it down in your journal. If you don't want to spend all of the 1,000 today, you can carry over the remaining, or carry over all of it. You tie 10% to a worthy cause. I tithe to a worthy cause called Compassionate Friends. It is a charity for bereaved parents, because I am one. I dedicate my work to my son, like I say. And so I have to remember to bring my cards for weekend. So yeah, Compassionate Friends. And so think of a charity or a worthy cause that you want to donate to, 10% from this vibrational money voucher. And then when I invite you to do the Bank 50K 50 Days challenge for real and build the spiritual business model, spiritual business success, then you'll feel good about it. You'll feel good. You'll feel like it's already done. It's not a big, hairy deal. You're putting out the rockets of desire into the universe, and you're in emotional alignment with it. You haven't got fear around the money or fear around serving, because you've practiced it in your brain, right? You've been thinking in images. So your life is basically an expression of the images in your mind, right? That comes from a book called The Happy Pocket Full of Money. So what would you spend your vibrational money voucher on? Tie 10%, come from the energy and the space that all of your bills are paid, all of your savings are done, and all of your taxes are done. The taxes one has been passed on to me. Like when I say it, like there's a tweak in there for me, but it's like, okay, well, manifesting 1 million, it's like, okay, there's a lot of taxes. Okay, well, there's going to be a lot of expenses then, right? Like that kind of thing. And that was passed on for me from my ex-husband, because I didn't even know that. Like he had that whole whatever, that story about that. All right, so I'm happy to pay my taxes, right? Because that means I'm earning whatever it is to be able to pay them. So what would you spend your vibrational money voucher on? Comment down below, or comment in the group, the Spiritual Business Vision Board Party and Bank 50K in 50 Days Facebook group. Do your vision board challenge. Again, I'll leave the link in the show notes, the cards in the description. You should do your vision board and post your homework in there. Body up. We've got a chat, an accountability chat for each of these days. If you're someone that you're like, I need accountability, Iona, go and ask someone, hey, will you be my accountability buddy for manifesting my vision board for the next 12 months for journaling with me? If you're a student in the Soul Legacy Academy, again, I have the 7 Freedoms Frequency call-in gym. It's a 2-hour monthly coaching call, and I will gift you that coaching call if you come to my live masterclass. It happens on the last Monday of the month at 3 p.m. UK time. It's a 4-hour free training where I teach you how to bank 50K in 50 days, do this vibrationally with me, and then build a business model, which I talk about in my book, Spiritual YouTubers from Scratch, a soul-guided influencer's compass to leverage your light work and lifestyle on YouTube. Now, readers of the book have a 5-day book-based challenge where I share with you how to get clarity on your business, but also the topics that you want to share in your marketing, in your business, naming all the things in your business, running a VIP day, creating a course, creating a Facebook group, creating a community, creating a call, creating a tribe, writing your own book, doing a retreat, all the things that you've wanted to do in your business. I talk about them in the book. And in the book, I have the masterclass. And so I invite you to that. Again, it's a free 4-hour training where I share with you how to speak to, serve, and sign up your high-paying one-to-many soul clients. One-to-many. Yes, we can work one-on-one, but ultimately we want to transition to working one-to-many and working and having passive income streams like our own book, our own courses, and being in person as well, doing our retreats and all those things. And I love it. I love having the business model that I have because it fuels me. And yes, I do have a business model that I can manifest that million, and I call it $1 million a year framework. And it feels amazing. And yes, I will be doing exactly what I'm doing now, manifesting that million. And I was talking again about the YouTube creator that manifested like 8 million in her business over 4 years and hated her life to the point where she could discontinued her courses, discontinued her mastermind, and just shut down her business. We don't want that. We want that life-work balance. And now she's got life-work balance, and she's gone traveling, and she got engaged, and she did all those things. I want those things for you as you travel on this journey. So again, links are in the cards in the show notes. If you are not subscribed to the YouTube channel at the Soul Legacy TV, Spiritual Business Success with Iona, I invite you to subscribe. Share this out. If you found it of value, please help me share it out. Thank you to everyone who does share it out. Really appreciate you. Thank you to everybody who has subscribed, who new subscribers as well. Thank you to all my students in the Soul Legacy Academy. I appreciate you guys. Come on, make sure you're scheduled onto the 7 Freedoms Frequency call-in gym. Again, if you want to have that, your business growth, and you want to balance your light work and your lifestyle, then I will share with you how to work with me, how to purchase the book, how to get into my boot camp, how to become a co-author, to share your spiritual awakening story in my co-author book series, the annual co-author book series. I also have the #1 Spiritual Awakening Annual YouTube Summit. So you might want to subscribe to the YouTube channel for that as well. And here are the soul-guided influencers sharing their spiritual awakening story. You are not alone. All right, that is it for the 7 Freedoms Frequency podcast. Again, I will go live every single day, and every single Wednesday. If you found it value, come back next Wednesday and share with me your insights and how you've moved up and down the emotional scale. Tomorrow is Environmental Freedom Thursday, where I'll be talking about your environment, but also traveling while you teach and teaching online, and actually how to set up your environment so you can teach online, right? So you can see the world while you teach online. All right, that is it. Again, share your gifts, shine your light, because you are born to serve. Here's to showing up, speaking out, and serving deep. Be blessed in your soul purpose. Big, 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 big love. Take care.